showing when to shop locally and think locally as opposed to sometimes shopping online. Shopping online isn't always going to get you the best deal, especially when Black Friday rolls around. Now, my situation is, you'll see in my videos that I promote the Ryobi tools a lot. I don't work for the company. They don't pay my bills except for, using the tools at work. And I do own a lot of Dewalt tools, and I like Dewalt tools, and interestingly enough, Dewalt does pay the bills as far as advertising. They actually pay to advertise on a lot of my Ryobi videos, and that's why you'll see Dewalt advertisements on my channel. I don't pick that. They actually bid on the stuff. But I am going to show a buying strategy that works with both Dewalt and Ryobi. And right now it's working particularly well with Dewalt. What's happening with Dewalt throughout the course of 2013, and it's going to become much more pronounced in 2014, is that they're phasing out their 18-volt tool system in favor of their 20-volt, which only uses lithium-ion batteries. Now, it's a very slow phase-out, so they still make the 18-volt tools, which up till relatively recently were pretty expensive, right? And they are pretty much the standard, the industry standard on what everybody else compares everything to. It's a question of whether or not something is as good as Dewalt, which most of the industry stuff is not as good as Dewalt, or whether it is better than Dewalt, and on a case-by-case basis, some tools are slightly better than Dewalt. Now, Dewalt is a multinational company with most of their stuff being made in Mexico, not China. And so, they'll consider it U.S., like made on the U.S. continent type of thing, right? Well, they're still decent tools, and I'm not going to knock anything that's made in Mexico, given a lot of stuff's made there, and it's good quality stuff. They have good warranty, and it's good tools. Here's what you're going to see on some of this. Let's see if I can find my other reciprocating saw. There it is. All right. So, get this out of the toolkit. What happened is they had kind of a come-and-go situation with an 18-volt lithium-ion battery system that used a slightly smaller base, but you could still plug the older, larger batteries into it. For example, like this one right here would still plug into the small base because it used their XRP battery system, right? When they went over to the water-resistant batteries, they went over to a type of battery that won't plug into these. Now, you're going to see a few items like the radios and some of the lights, which can use both the new and old style batteries. Most of the actual power tools cannot. But what happened is they kept a lot of the older tools in production. And so where this saw was, a couple $100 if you bought it as a standalone tool, this thing, if you look at it on Amazon, $189 as a standalone tool. That's kind of expensive. Now, what happened though is I got a promotional deal locally at Lowe's, and you'll notice that this is brand new out of the box. I just unpacked it, okay, as I was making the video. The DW938. Since the DW385, roughly the equal power on the saw and everything like that. This one was made to take the old style batteries, but will take all of the XRP series batteries. And, apart from everything else, they're nearly identical, right? This one I bought from a guy who he would buy the larger kits, like the 9-piece kits, and then break them up. Well, that's one of the ways you can come out ahead on this, and that's what I am doing here. Is the one Dewalt 18-volt tool that I don't own, that I kind of wanted to own, was one of these, right? $189 if I buy it alone. And the only other way I could deal with this is to buy one of the entire kits, break it up. At Lowe's today, one day only deal, probably expired by the time you watch this video, it was $199, and then of course I get my 10% veteran discount, so I got it for $179. And what I'm going to do is sort through the tools and sell off the spare to help defray the cost, which will be fine for everybody involved. I paid $80 for this from a guy who bought one of the complete toolkits and broke it up, and it was because one of my others ended up gone somehow and I needed to replace it. So this one I don't really need, and I marked my name on this one to deter theft, so this one's going away. And then this is going into my collection. I wanted to have one of these impacts. They may have a little bit more deluxe version of this. I'm going to double check because this one's the 825. Feels a little bit light, but it's got the built-in light and all that kind of stuff. I think it's going to do just fine. That gets added into the collection. These little flashlights are kind of so-so. I'm going to put this with the stuff that's for sale. This thing seems to come with every single kit they ever sell. I own a few of these, so that is going to be for sale. The batteries I'm going to keep, but I'll probably have one available for whoever I sell the kit to. And then what I'll do is I'll keep one battery. That way I get a fresh battery every time I buy something. And then the bag. The bag I think I'm going to keep. These are good bags. And they have a good bottom. So if you want to know what a good buying strategy is for getting your cordless power tools together, buy the kits and break them up. The larger the kit, the better the deal you get, usually. But shop locally, look for stores that are buying in volume that have some sort of a promotional deal going on, and you're probably going to get a far better deal than you would get online. This stuff all comes in boxes. They are keeping the older models in production so that you can get good deals on them. And that's what Dewalt's doing that's smart, is they came out with newer models. They've got the older ones are still in production, and you basically get them for the price of a used tool. When you buy the full, large, complete kits on the promotional pricing, you keep the ones you want, you sell off what you don't want. When I buy kind of the oddball tools, like let's say the bandsaw that you see in some of my other videos, or the let's say the SDS roto hammer for drilling concrete, you get a better deal getting the kits out of those. So once you're buying a bunch of these things, you end up with a bunch of the charters. So what I do is I give those to whoever's buying the leftovers from me. Okay, I'll keep one of the batteries out of the kit, and then the charger goes to whoever buys it from me, because that's probably also a person who already uses Dewalt tools. Probably, not always. But let's say somebody just wants the drill, one battery, one charger. You know, if I give that to them for 70, 80 bucks, that's a good deal for everybody involved, as long as I got a good deal on the kit when I break it up. So it's a little bit of Black Friday shopping advice. Hopefully, you know, guys understand how that works. It also works with the Ryobi tools. I'll do it in the future with more of the Ryobi tools as I circulate out the blue body tools from my inventory and kind of replace them with the newer, slightly upgraded lithium-ion themed tools.